Ausar Thompson and his twin brother Amen had a wide range of options in front of them after their junior year of high school. They were 6'7", athletic, and talented on the basketball court. Whether it be a one-and-done season in the NCAA, a season or two with the G League Ignite, or a year playing overseas, any of these options would have been paths that have been trekked by past NBA prospects. Instead, the Thompson twins bet on themselves, as well as a startup league, and joined the Overtime Elite League. By joining the newly founded league, the twins decided to forego their senior season at a regular prep school and become the faces of the new league for 2 seasons. To this point, the gamble appears to be paying off, as both are projected to be top 10 picks in the upcoming draft, with Ausar currently being mocked in the 7 to 10 range. There's plenty of season left, and I'm sure there'll be plenty of questions about the level of competition in this brand new league, but should Ausar continue to play at the level he has been playing at, he should be a top 10 pick just like his brother in the 2023 draft. The first strength for Ausar is his athleticism. Those of you that watched the video on Ausar Thompson know about his crazy athleticism, and Ausar is nearly the same from an athletic standpoint. This makes sense since they are identical twins, but I suppose you never know with this type of stuff how it is going to work out. But anyway, Ausar has the ability to leap with the best of them, posting a max vertical jump of 38 inches, which would have been good enough to be a top 10 mark at the 2022 NBA Draft Combine, and it shows up in the games. If Ausar gets an open lane to the basket and a teammate tosses a lob reasonably close to the hoop, he can throw it down. He's also worked in a high off-the-glass floater that he can leverage with his hang time. Basically, he can absorb contact and hang in the air long enough to float the shot up high off the backboard. His athleticism also allows him to live at the line in games where he is able to get into attack mode. He isn't the strongest free throw shooter yet, shooting 65% from the line last year and 60% so far this year, but if he is able to improve to be an at least average free throw shooter, with his speed and ability to put pressure on the basket, he could pick up 5 to 10 easy points per game just on free throws. Like his brother, Ausar isn't the most polished offensive player at this time, but his athleticism is certainly NBA ready. Another strength for Ausar is passing. Ausar isn't quite the level of playmaker that Amen is at this stage, but he can still create for his teammates a bit when needed. Ausar is great at using his athleticism to get into the paint and kick passes out to open teammates on the perimeter for good shots. Since Ausar is already listed as a wing, this ability alone will be a perfect complement to his skill set as a scorer. He doesn't need to be the type of guy that you have bring the ball up and initiate the offense, but if the ball makes its way over to him in the flow of the offense, he can give you some good secondary playmaking ability. One final strength for Ausar is on-ball defense. Like I mentioned in the video for Amen, the first thing that caught the attention of OTE scouts when they watched the Thompson brothers play was their intensity on the defensive end. Just like Amen, Ausar is a maniac defending on the perimeter. Everywhere a player goes on the perimeter with the ball, Ausar is there making life difficult. When he's locked in, he can force guys into bad passes and lost dribbles regularly. And just like with his brother, he also has the ability to defend bigger guys with competency thanks to his strength and athleticism. At this time, he is currently a bit heavier than Amen, but he will still need to fill out more if he wants to hang with NBA-level big men on the defensive end. However, even if he doesn't, he should have no issue switching across any offensive player on the perimeter in the NBA. One weakness for Ausar is decision-making. To be fair, Ausar is a young player and is playing in a league where it isn't encouraged for players to make flashy plays. But that being said, Ausar definitely makes some questionable decisions with the ball at this stage of his career. There are times where Ausar will drive into a crowd around the basket and force up a very difficult attempt rather than looking for an easy outlet. Or there are times where he gets into the air without a plan and is forced to make a pass into a tight or already closed window. These lapses in Ausar's decision-making can lead to runouts off missed shots or live ball turnovers. At the NBA level, Ausar will need to clean up his decision-making if he wants to stay on the floor. Another weakness for Ausar is shooting. Through 10 games this season, Ausar is shooting just 19% from 3 on 36 attempts. There's really no way to make this number seem good. Not only is it bad, but it is actually worse than he shot from 3 last season. During the 2021-22 season, Ausar made 17 of his 72 three-point attempts, good for 24%. While this is better than he is currently shooting, it is still well below average. But beyond just the poor percentages, he doesn't have a great-looking shot either. He seems to have a bit of a quicker release than his brother, but he sort of just flings it at the basket. This typically doesn't give him great arc on his shots and also leads to some wild misses. Ausar doesn't necessarily need to be a sharpshooter to be successful in the NBA with his athleticism and defense, but the team that drafts him will at least want him to develop into an average shooter, or else he can be taken out of games relatively easily on the offensive end of the floor. This first clip displays Ausar's incredible athletic ability. The play starts with Ausar spotting up on the wing away from the play. When his teammate drives, he slowly cuts in to potentially give his teammate an outlet if needed. When his teammate goes up for the layup, Ausar times his jump perfectly and is able to get the putback slam. The most impressive part of this play to me is that Ausar isn't even going full speed when he takes off for his jump, and he probably still could have grazed his head on the rim. From an athletic standpoint, Ausar is absolutely ready for the NBA. This next clip shows off some of Ausar's on-ball defense. The play begins off of a made basket for Ausar's team. The ball gets inbounded to his brother Amen, and Ausar picks him up full court. Amen is no slouch handling the ball and starts putting on the moves to get past his brother. Ausar calmly slides his feet, traps Amen against the sideline, pokes the ball out, and races in for the dunk. While Ausar may not be the most polished offensive player, he certainly appears ready to defend at a high level in the NBA. This final clip gives us an example of Ausar's inconsistent jump shot. The play starts with Ausar utilizing a nice move and a screen to create some space away from his defender. The defender of his teammate stays back with the roll man, giving Ausar a nice look at the basket. There's a late contest from his defender, but probably not enough to really alter the shot. Alas, Ausar's attempt comes out flat and hits front rim. Ausar doesn't get very much arc on his shot and at times seems to just fling it towards the basket. His jump shot will be the biggest area of opportunity for him coming into the NBA. Ausar Thompson is half of possibly the most interesting draft prep story in this year's draft. While maybe not as bold as Darius Baisley taking a year off pre-draft, it certainly takes confidence in yourself to join an upstart league and lead up to the draft. To this point, the reward seems to have been worth the risk for Ausar. While he appears to be on track to be drafted lower than his brother, he is still looking like a likely top 10 pick. Ausar is very athletic, skilled defensively, and has shown some ability to playmake. But he also seems like he will be a bit of a project in the scoring department. He'll get points off of being hyper athletic, but he isn't very polished otherwise, and his jump shot is definitely a work in progress. Ausar has a nice floor as a player thanks to his defensive ability and athleticism, but the team that drafts him will need to understand that he may not be ready to shoulder a big scoring load right away. My NBA comp for Ausar Thompson is Marjon Beauchamp. Beauchamp is currently a rookie with the Bucks that clearly has a lot of talent, especially on the defensive end. But he is still developing his jump shot and has nights where he really struggles with scoring. I could see Ausar beginning his career the same way. Both have the potential to be able to take on larger offensive roles later in their careers, it just won't happen right away.